Hey, everybody, welcome to Hearing God in the Gospel of John. We get to begin a brand new book of the Bible today. And the Gospel of John stands out from the others in that it is more theological. Instead of just telling us the facts about what happened in the life and ministry of Jesus, John goes into greater detail in the explanation of the why and what it all means. And so there's a lot of depth in the Gospel of John for us to work through, and it's absolutely beautiful. And the beauty of the Gospel of John begins right away in chapter 1, in that it is a poem in the first 18 verses. The poem begins, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." And then he goes on to give explanation to how Jesus is God. And that really is one of the key themes of the Gospel of John is the deity of Jesus, that he is the Son of God, and that he is also the Messiah. And so the verse that I chose today is incredibly brief. And in fact, the part I want to zero in on is just the first four words of the verse, but it's verse 4, where it says, "In him was life, and the life was the light of men." And that phrase, "in him was life," just really hit me hard. And then if we were to fast forward to the end of the book, John chapter 20, verse 31, the thesis statement is really given there, where John concludes by saying, "But these are written so that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name." And so we kind of have these bookend verses, one at the beginning, one at the end, that talk about the fact that Jesus is life. He's not a supplement to be added to our lives to make them better. Kind of like a vitamin that you may take in the morning that will somehow enhance your day, to enhance your health. That is not what Jesus came to do. And unfortunately, I think that's the way he's presented often. And I've been guilty of that in my times as well, that Jesus is not something that we add to our lives to make them better. He came to take over our lives. And until we surrender to him in this way, we will not experience the fullness that he promises. And so, as a pastor, there are times where I hear professing Christians expressing disillusionment about the Christian faith. And there are times in my own life, even where, if I'm honest, I feel a bit discouraged or disillusioned with, like, this is it. I felt like there should be more. But I think the issue is that we often do not experience the abundant lives that we are hoping for, because we're merely treating Jesus as a supplement, something to add to our lives, rather than exchanging our old lives for Jesus himself and a new life. We kind of dabble in Jesus and treat him as this supplement to our existing lives, rather than allowing him to take over our lives. And I think it's true that our lives will be supernaturally abundant to the degree that we surrender them. And so if we're in a season of our lives where we are disillusioned or disappointed with the fruit that we see or the experience that we're having with Jesus, perhaps the place for us to begin to look is to say, is Jesus truly my life? Is he what I live for? Or do I just treat him as that vitamin that I take in the morning, hoping that I'll be healthier and wealthier and wiser? And so I've certainly been guilty of this. And I think it's a healthy check for me to say, hey, Chad, if you're not experiencing the fruitfulness, the abundance in your life that you were expecting or that you think should be there with Jesus, then to what degree do you need to surrender certain areas of your life that you have not given God permission to access? And so in my response, I simply said, Father, show me those areas of my life that I am refusing to surrender. Help me to stop dabbling in Jesus and to instead surrender to him. May my life be so abundant that it is compelling to others and glorifying to you. And so today, in John chapter 1, verse 4, the reminder for all of us that Jesus is life. It's not in all the other stuff of the world, and hoping that somehow if we sprinkle a little Jesus in, it's going to be better. That's not the way it works. Jesus is life. I hope he is your life today. I hope that you are fully surrendered to him and experiencing the fullness and abundance that Jesus intends for you. This is not just for a select few. This is for every single one of his children. And so hope you have an awesome evening. I look forward to joining you again soon with John chapter 2.